Greetings, YouTube. I want you to imagine for a moment that you have to take a test. You don't have a choice. You're in a situation where the test has to be taken. And it's not completely draconian because you're being given two choices. The first choice is a test for a subject you have never studied. Never. Ever. You have never cracked a book, never listened to a podcast, never heard a speech. You don't even have a clue what the name of the topic is about. The second test, however, is one you have studied, just in the last 6 months. But you've had time to look into it. You've read about it. You've listened to people talk about it. You've had conversations about it with others who have experienced that particular topic. So you've got a good working knowledge of that topic. So which of those two tests are you going to take? The one that you have absolutely no information about. And the possibility that you will pass is going to be pure happenstance. You're going to be rolling them dice, and you're going to be needing to roll like 5 hard 7s in a row. Or you take the test where you have some knowledge, a good, solid, working knowledge of it. Which one are you going to choose? Now, the astute amongst you who have been here more than once in the past and are observant of the current world situation might understand that I'm discussing vaccines, because that's what the vaccine does. The vaccine teaches you, not here, but here. It teaches your body what COVID-19 looks like, how it's shaped, what to be aware of, how to know when it's shown up. So you have a response for it. Now with the Delta variant, you're not going to have as good a response as you could have against the original variant. But you're still going to have a much better response than if you have no vaccine and your body has no idea what it's looking at. That's when the COVID-19 vaccine disease and the Delta variant in particular, are just going to kind of waltz into your immune system and start kicking your ass. Now, maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you won't end up in a hospital. Or if you end up in a hospital, maybe you won't end up in a ventilator. And if you end up in a ventilator, maybe you'll be one of the vanishing small number of people who get to come off that ventilator. And if that happens, maybe you'll be lucky and you won't have to deal with lifelong, crippling medical conditions forever, with a respiratory system that may not work, or with brain damage, or with a cardiovascular system that no longer functions properly. Or you'll need regular IVs on a weekly basis so that your immune system doesn't completely collapse on you in the future. And I know a woman who has to go in for weekly IVs because her body has been just ravaged by this disease. She was one of the first people to get it way back in the beginning when it started. She's a long hauler, and her life has been turned upside down, and she may never, ever be able to hold a conventional job again. Who knows how much of her life has been stripped away from her? Because when she caught the disease, there were no vaccines. That doesn't even take into account the 700,000 people who have had all of their lives stripped away from them. Their families devastated. Their friends with a hole in their heart that will never be filled. And that all can be fixed if you just get a little knowledge. And that is also a metaphor.